What is going on, you guys? Alex Chasen back here with a brand new video. Hopefully you're having a great day, afternoon, or night, wherever you guys are in this world. And in today's video, let's talk about the really bad Detroit Pistons. Currently sitting at 2-18, the worst record in the entire NBA, and the worst part of it all, they are on a 17-game losing streak. Not winning a single game, not one in the month of November. And they are already 0-1 in the month of December. Talk about starting off the season strong, am I right? No, really bad. Honestly surprising. I didn't think they would be a high seed. I thought maybe they could sneak into the 10th seed because of that young talent that is growing, along with the good veteran players. I thought good veteran players on this roster. But it's turning out, no, they are the same old Detroit Pistons that they've been for the past 5+ years. But this might be one of the worst teams I've had in a while, even though they've been bad. This is really bad. Let's talk about them in today's video. For some historical context, not good historical context, but I want to see what is the longest losing streak in NBA history. So the Philadelphia 76ers hold the longest losing streak, but it's between two seasons of 28 games, between the 2014-15 season and the 2015-16 season. That one doesn't really count because it's between two seasons. I wanted to see the longest one in a single season. And the Cleveland Cavaliers, the 2010-11 Cleveland Cavaliers to be exact, and then the 2013-14 Philadelphia 76ers, the Sixers back on here, of course, they had some really bad years. Those two teams had a losing streak of 26 games. The Detroit Pistons are 9 games behind that. You think 17's long. Imagine if they go to 26 or more. That's hard to imagine. But at this rate, it's very possible. It's possible. Do I think it's going to happen? I don't know. They're playing really bad basketball right now. So the question is, why are the Detroit Pistons with solid young talent, some good vets? Bogdanovich just came back. Maybe that will help him. He dropped 22 in his first game of the season. With a solid roster on paper and a really good coach in Monty Williams, a championship caliber head coach in Monty Williams, why are they so bad? And to answer that question, it's pretty simple. Sloppy basketball. Extremely sloppy basketball. When you lead the league in personal fouls per game at 23.6, and you're also the second worst team in the league with turnovers, the Utah Jazz are worse as of right now with 17.7, and then you have the Detroit Pistons with 17.2. Neck and neck, marginal difference. So basically, they are the worst in both categories. Turnovers per game and then personal fouls per game. That's sloppy basketball, and that's not going to lead to wins. That's going to lead to a 17-game losing streak because their shooting isn't great, but it's not the worst in the league. They're in the back of the pack. They're like in the 20s, 25 range. Some of their shooting percentages were like high 20s. But they're rebounding. They're a pretty good offensive rebounding team because they got some good height on their roster. Their shooting's not great, but it's not bad. But it's the sloppy mistakes, turning over the ball, which when you're playing really fast-paced teams, which in these days in the NBA, a lot of teams are relatively fast-paced, you're just going to give the team easy buckets transitioning down the other end of the court. So I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't watch a lot of Detroit basketball. I'll put them on if they're playing like a good team or if they're playing the Celtics. Obviously, I'll watch them. But most of the time, I am not watching Detroit basketball because of their sloppy, not overly entertaining game. Yes, I like some of their guys like Asar Thompson, great young player. You got Cade Cunningham, a really bright future, I believe, for him. But at the end of the day, they're very dysfunctional on the court, like I've been talking about. Sloppy basketball. That's not fun to watch. But for y'all, in cases like this, I watched the entire first quarter of their most recent game against the New York Knicks, and then I skipped through the end of it, and then I watched the entire 9-minute cut-down version by House of Highlights. I watched that. And my consensus, along with the stats, are they're just really bad at defense. I mean, the stats say it. But for examples, right? Mitchell Robinson would set a high screen on Jalen Brunson. They started off the game doing this. Marcus Sasser was on Jalen Brunson in one of the plays I'm thinking about right now. I got it up on my laptop just for a visual aid for me. Marcus Sasser goes over Mitchell Robinson. All right, but you can't stick with him. And then Jalen Brunson gets his feet right at the three-point line, pulls up, splash. You got Jalen Duran right here standing back at the foul line. Jalen Brunson's wide open. And then Jalen Duran, I know, that interior defense, but you got guys like Emmanuel Quickley and Josh Hart, I believe that is, sitting in the corners. No one's in the paint. You have no one to guard Jalen Duran. Close that shot out. Close it out. Marcus Sasser got beat. Mitchell Robinson set a great screen. I know Jalen Duran's got to be there for the role for Mitchell Robinson. But that's why guys like Cade Cunningham and Asar Thompson are right there. Yes, they're smaller, but you'd rather give up a 2 than give up a 3, a wide open 3 to someone like a rising superstar in Jalen Brunson. That's a little example of what that real entire game was like. Looking at this roster, they really shouldn't be this bad. They have good vets. I know Bogdanovich just came back, so maybe that can help stir up a few wins. But you got good young talent. Cade Cunningham, 22 points per game, 8 assists, a really, really good point guard. I know he leads the league in turnovers. Disgusting. He's got to cut that out of his game. But the rest of the intangibles are there. He's just kind of sloppy with it. Jalen Duran, Jaden Ivey, who I know is averaging less PPG this season, but it's because he's taking less shots, but he's more efficient with those shots. So you can't really complain there because now he's sharing the ball with guys like Asar Thompson, another rookie in Marcus Sasser. They really shouldn't be this bad, but it's understandable why they're this bad when you look at the stats. Turnovers and fouls, giving teams easy points. You're putting them at the free throw line or you're turning the ball over for transition buckets. That's like the definition of how to lose an NBA game right there. But I don't know. I mean, you got Killian Hayes, who's starting a lot. They start him because he's just a really good defender. You know, he's averaging 1.5 steals per game. But I'd rather get guys like Jaden Ivey out there because I'm looking at it, and Jaden Ivey has started less games. Jaden Ivey's only started 6 games. You got Killian Hayes starting 15. Maybe they want Ivey to be that 6th man, but at this point, when you're this bad, you want to start your best players and to make them confident in that starting role. Jaden Ivey, he should be your future starting shooting guard, future starting small forward, whatever you want to do. Put Asar at the 2, whatever lineup you want to do. But you should be giving that confidence to someone like Jaden Ivey. So with that said, that is all I have for you guys today. And I'm praying the Detroit Pistons do not hit that 26 mark or that 27 mark, making them the longest losing streak in NBA history. Because that'd be really, really bad. Because I'd mostly feel bad for Monty Williams. Not so much these young guys on the roster who probably, I mean, of course they care, but it's not like their goal is to win a championship right now. Neither is it probably for Monty Williams, considering the situation he's in. But I just think he's a really good coach. I loved him in Phoenix. I was really kind of disappointed they let him go that quickly, but I understand why. I'm happy he has this job in Detroit, but I feel bad. If they're this bad, I mean, hopefully he can keep his job because he got a really fat bag. He got a lot of money for this coaching job, and hopefully it can work out for him. Thank you all for watching. I'll be back very, very soon, and like always, peace out.